It is possible to stay in shape or get in shape as you get older. You just might have to do it a little differently. Today on our podcast, we're going to discuss just that. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Studio 809 Podcast. This is what community sounds like.
Welcome to the Functional Fitness and Nutrition Podcast with Chronology on Studio 809. I'm Stevie.
And I'm Will.
And we're your co-hosts and experts behind Chronology Functional Fitness and Nutrition. Chronology is a wellness company focusing on functional health and anti-aging through personal training, nutrition counseling, and a holistic approach to life. You can find us online at chronologyfit.com.
That's Chronology with a K.
Good morning. A little warm today.
Very warm.
We're going to talk about staying fit or getting fit as you get older and what kind of adaptations or changes you might need to make to your workout routine and your diet to be able to do that. There's absolutely no reason why you can't still be fit or even more fit than you were when you're young.
And I don't think people realize that there is ways to train for your age. And that's it's not being ageist or anything. Like, of course, everybody's an individual. There may be a guy who is like me in his 50s who can do just what guys in their 20s do. But on average, that's what we're going to talk about today. Just average people in these age groups, how to train and eat for your age group.
Right.
Yeah.
And training specifically to still get the results you want.
Definitely.
Taking into account that your body is different and avoiding injury.
That's what it's all about, too.
Right.
Just
because if you get injured because you're trying to do what you did when you were 25, you're not going back to the gym for a while.
Exactly. So I think the first age group would be from 15 to 30.
Yeah.
So let's just say training in those age groups, right? So everybody knows that you should warm up before you do any kind of exercise. When you're in this age group, the warm up can be very fast. It can be 2 to 5 minutes and you're hitting the weights. You know what I mean? So that age group, warming up and say proper form, you can cheat it and not get hurt and still get results in that age group. So that's the positive for that age group. Their responses to strength and to cardio will be great, quick and great because you're young, your hormones are at their peak, everything else. So quick recovery time for that age group. You might only need a day, and then you can get back to it, or even less, maybe sometimes.
For muscle recovery.
Yeah. And then there's injury. You get injured, you're probably back to it really quickly. So that's my outline for the 15, to 30 as far as exercising. Now, again, everybody's their own person.
Right. You still have to, even though you might be taking in recommendations for your particular age group, you still have to also take into account any special needs or unique situations that you personally have.
Yeah. And of course, this is the perfect time to learn proper range of motion, proper form, because when you're younger, it'll stick with you throughout your life. A lot of people get hurt or a lot of people don't get results because of proper form and not the correct range of motion. So this age group is a perfect time for you to get to know and to learn how to do things right. So this age group is pretty easy. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, but you'll get results quick. You'll look great if you start in this age group. So now why don't you touch on, just the general nutrition stuff for people in this age group, because they're new people. So I would think if you start eating right in this age group,
absolutely,
it will stick with you and it will benefit you throughout.
Unfortunately, that is the age group that usually does not.
That's what I was going to touch on.
People say all of the time, what you do when you're young doesn't bother you now, but it will catch you when you get older. That is absolutely true.
Yes, very good point.
Things that you do when you're young will come back later.
Definitely.
That is not to say that you can't make changes and improvements.
No.
But, I mean, just for example, with physical, I mean, you've had you've had some physical injuries when you were younger because you maybe didn't pay attention or, were a little reckless. And now you're feeling.
Now I can feel
Now
him.
you feel him. You didn't feel him then.
You don't feel him then.
Even though you're very careful now.
Right.
It's the same thing with, nutrition. If you drink to excess or if you eat a lot of sugar all the time and you don't sleep properly, eventually that's going to catch up to you.
Yeah. And see, that's what I was going to say about the eating too. A lot of these, especially the young men, 15, 25, are hitting the gym and they're looking great, but their diet is not all that great, but they look okay.
They can get away with it.
Yeah, they're getting away with it. But every year that creeps by, that happens less and less and less, and it's going to catch up.
Well, and part of the reason they can get away with it is because you're young.
Yeah.
Your human growth hormone is still high. In some cases still kind of growing. And your metabolism is higher. You're probably also generally more active. Perhaps you're a college student who's, playing a sport or something as opposed to having a desk job when you're in your 30s.
Right.
So you're going to eat more. You're going to probably be able to get away with more carbs and fat, fats and things like that because, you need the higher calories and the more energy from the carbs because you're probably more active.
For sure.
But you still need to kind of be mindful and still get in your fruits and vegetables and still maybe, keep the junk food to a small percentage of your overall diet.
Right.
Yes, you can get away with eating more of it than you can when you're older, but you still need to be mindful.
That's the whole thing. You have to think about the future.
Yeah.
I can get away with it now. But
which I know when I was that age, I certainly didn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's the way it is in this life. No matter, it's like the reap and sow. That's the way it is. Whatever you sow, you're going to reap. If you sow crap, you're going to reap crap, basically. So the next age group is 30 to 40. This is when things change. Hormones are going down. Metabolism's getting a little slower. Maybe we're into a sedentary lifestyle already, and you're in your 30s, and you're like, I feel like crap. You can still make changes if you get to the gym right now, even if you've never been in the gym. But here's the things, when you're in your 30s and 40s, your warm-up is very important. So that's got to be 5 to 10 minutes at least, because you cannot get away with pumping heavy weights, doing heavy cardio like you did when you were in your 20s without a proper warm-up. So that's very important. You'll still get good responses to your strength and your cardio because you're still young and you can still get there pretty quickly. Recovery time's a little longer now because you're older. So the smart thing to do would be take that time. Don't, get into the mode of, I need to get this workout in. You need to listen to your body. If you're not ready, don't go back to the gym. Again, you're not in your 20s. This is an important time to start to pay attention to what your body's telling you. Your joints need recovery time at this age frame.
30s to 40s, really?
Oh, yeah. Because, again, you just from aging, your joints getting kind of worn out. And let's say you've been in the gym since you were 20s. Now they've had some stress and more stress and more stress. So as you get older, it's not just your muscles. So you take an inventory and you're like, I feel good. All my muscles feel like they're recouped. But you need to check in on your joints. Oh, my joints are kind of stiff. They hurt a little bit. Take an extra day. Because if you go to the gym with hurt joints, they're going to get worse. Then you're out for a week instead of an extra day. Be smart. Consistency is very important right now. It's always important. But like I said, in your early 20s and stuff, you can get away with these things. This is the way
for the time being, anyway.
So being consistent is very important in this age group, 30 to 40s. And again, like I said, if you've never been in the gym, you're out of shape, and you're getting close, to 40, you can still make changes. It's never too late. It'll always benefit you to get back into the gym, or just to get into the gym, let me say. So when you get closer to the 40 mark, that's when things really begin to get tough. In men, testosterone drops radically. I don't know, for some reason.
Women start to enter perimenopause.
It just takes a nosedive. So when you get to 40, exactly, I do recommend strength training. Yes, for sure. It'll help to keep up your hormones, help you keep you, looking a lot younger.
Well, and for women, it's very important to avoid for men as well, but osteoporosis seems to be, a female thing because as your hormones drop, your bone density is less. And strength training is just as, if not more important, the older you get as cardio.
Oh, most definitely.
You really need to make an effort to strength train.
And this is a pretty new thing that's come out through a bunch of research papers. I've just been, over the past 2 years, it's been just exploding, that the research continues to show that including strength training, especially as you age, not only will increase your lifespan, but increase your quality of life.
And it also makes you less susceptible to accidents like falls.
Yes, most definitely. So that's perfect. So again, nutrition in this age group, I know it seems like we just keep repeating the same things, but most of this is just basic. And at this age, in these age groups, you need to start thinking about, what do I really need as far as my nutrition goes? So like, what I want to ask you is this. So when you're younger, you're like protein. I want to build muscle. When you're in your 30s and 40s, that might not be the good way to go. Like total protein it out. And
no, actually, when you're younger, you actually need more protein when you're older.
Nice.
Over 40, especially over 50, you absorb protein differently. So you do need to make sure you increase high quality protein. Good protein, lean meats, vegetarian proteins like beans and eggs, and, it's non-GMO tofu if that's something that you eat. Nuts. You need to make sure you're getting maybe a little more protein than you used to eat.
So it's
good
the
quality
absorption.
Yeah.
Is what...
Well, and also other things that you can do to help with the protein is we lose stomach acid as we get older. Mm-hmm. A lot of people get heartburn and they think, I have too much acid. You actually probably don't have enough, or you're eating the wrong kinds of foods, which aggravate. So if you're eating a good diet and you still have issues, you could have some protein digestion issues, usually when people eat meat or chicken, not so much fish or vegetarian protein.
Right.
So getting something like betaine hydrochloric, betaine HCl, digestive enzymes, and making sure that you have probiotics and fermented foods in your diet. And when you're eating a protein-rich meal, you want to, make sure that you're doing these things as well. Yeah. So that you not only are increasing your protein, but you're absorbing your protein.
Yes. That is a big thing about the absorption. That's why a lot of protein products will, promote easy absorption, depending on what it is. So also, to end on this age group, is eating correctly and getting into the gym and doing the strength training and the cardio will, in fact, indeed, help to get rid of some of the aging illnesses that we know about, like high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes.
Yeah, this is, definitely. Like you said, when you're in your 20s, you really should be thinking about these kinds of things, but most people don't. About 35, 40 is when people actually start paying attention. We get a lot of clients that come to us because they've been diagnosed as pre-diabetic or have high blood pressure, and they're usually around in this age group. I think this is also a time when you might want to start certainly people in their 20s can benefit from supplements, but I think this is a time when you really want to start paying attention to those.
Really?
Maybe adding like a turmeric for inflammation, CoQ10. Anybody over 40 should probably take that for heart health.
Heart health.
Everyone should be taking vitamin D, but But yeah, starting to look at some supplements and seeing how they can help you with those lifestyle diseases. Maybe if you tend to run a little high blood sugar, you're pre-diabetic or have metabolic syndrome, maybe you want to take something like chromium picolinate or a cinnamon supplement just to help keep you from getting those lifestyle diseases as you get older, in addition to your fitness and nutrition.
Yes. Because like I always say, it's hand in hand. You cannot have a great, diet, but you don't get in the gym and do cardio and exercise. You can't have a great workout routine and not have a proper diet. It won't work. It has to be together. So the next age group is 40 to 60. Hey, that's me. I'm 53 years old. So warm-up is essential.
Yeah, you
I
have to
take
do
15
more
minutes. I take 15 minutes now to warm up before I even start.
I think warm-up
exercise.
is important just at the beginning of the day, too, because, I mean,
Hey, that's a great idea.
all of us in our 50s know you're a little stiff when you wake up in the morning. So
That's a great point. I like that.
Warming up at the beginning of the day, and then definitely warm up and cool down, I think, are very important when you're working out in this age group and above.
Yep. And in the warm-up, you should include flexibility of your joints. So you're doing your warm-up, whatever it is, you're on the bike, whatever it is. When you're done, you give a little dynamic stretching to each joint, your wrists, all your fingers, your elbows,
and just in
shoulders.
case people don't know, explain what dynamic versus static is.
Dynamic stretching is a stretch that is done with a movement and like a bouncing kind of a motion, whereas the static is held for 30 seconds or maybe a bit longer. So you're going to have a lower response to strength and cardio. This doesn't mean you won't see results. You definitely will. But you cannot expect to get the results, say, that a 20-year-old is getting.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just going to be very disappointed. Every time you go to the gym, you're going to be unhappy.
And I'll let you continue on that in a minute.
Yeah,
but
no, please
a thing that I want to drive home, too, is you cannot expect to have the same fitness level or
Definitely,
more.
For sure.
Than when I'm certainly more fit than when I was in my 20s.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then more fit than a lot of 20s and 30s that I know. But you cannot expect to weigh the same or have the same body shape as when you were in your 20s. It's just, I don't care how hard you work, your body is going to change. And that's why, you need to stop focusing on what the scale says and focus more on how you feel, your fitness level, your energy level, your lab work, how your clothes fit.
Yes. All those things together make you very happy if they're good.
Yes.
That's a great point. Thank you for that.
That's one of the things that you kind of need to change your mindset when you're over 50. And then you were saying about it'll take you a little longer to reach your goals, but you'll get there. Yes. And then once you're there, then it's exponentially quicker. Yeah.
Because that's, so longer recovery time. So here's what I do. I work out pretty heavy with the weights and I do a good amount of cardio, but I was working out 5 days a week just recently, a couple months ago. And I found that my recovery time was taking me a lot longer. So I'd go a week, everything was fine. When I started the next week, I wasn't as strong. Didn't have the energy. Then I went back again the next day, the same thing. Discovered I'm not getting enough rest. So what I did was I changed my workout routine to 3 days a week. I, composed it to where I'm able to get every body part in. And so my rest time has increased.
That is important.
What I found out is when I went back to the gym, I was stronger. I was able to do more, lift more. Only because I took extra days. So if you were, to break it down, if you would keep trying to go 5 days a week and just say, I'm going to push myself, and you do it for a month, do it for 2 months, the third month, you're going to be off for a month because you can't work out. My way, I'm still working out 2-3 months from now and still getting my gains and all my results. So
I think where younger people take 1 to 2 rest days a week, you need more like 2-3.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting the results. So, if you start training at this age, you will start to see results very quickly, which is a good thing because it'll keep you on the right track. So this is a positive for all my friends out there between the ages of 40 and 60. If you've never been in the gym before, never worked out, start now because you'll see quick results and it'll keep you going and you'll feel great. My only recommendation is don't go it alone. You should get a personal trainer. If you've never been in the gym, form
is way more important.
Well, yeah, so I was going to say it's important to know how to do these exercises the right way so you avoid injury. So I wouldn't go at it alone. That's for sure. Do not train too heavy when you're in this age group. It's a better prescription to train moderate with higher reps than heavy weight with the low reps.
Because of the joints, right?
Exactly.
But you can still get the same results. You're just doing it differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Body responds differently at this age.
Yeah. Consistency will not only ensure that you stay on track and you get in shape, but it will start to improve your immune system at this age. Weight training and cardio, I know people don't connect these two to your immune system, but it helps to boost your immune system.
Which is something you definitely want to do because you're
age.
more, if you do get ill, you're more susceptible to it taking longer for you to get well and for recovery or for other things to happen, like the flu could turn into pneumonia or something like that.
Yeah.
So keeping your immune system up, and also through healthy diet as well, making sure that you have plenty of antioxidants and also polyphenols for healthy aging.
Yeah.
We're all dying. We're all, falling apart. But you want to slow it down.
Yeah.
You want your skin integrity to stay better a little longer, and you don't want to die physically as quickly. You don't want to start to look old. And you can slow that down. We can't stop it.
No.
But we can slow it down.
If I find a way to stop it, then I'm going to tell everybody I'd be the richest person in the world. So
lots of fruits and vegetables of all colors, getting those supplements like I mentioned, like turmeric or the resveratrol. It doesn't have to be in wine. You would have to drink way too much wine.
Right.
That would cause all kinds of other health issues.
Right.
To get enough resveratrol. That needs to come from a supplement or eating the grapes. Eat any dark red and purple grapes, berries, cherries, pomegranates. You're going to get the resveratrol. So, like I said, you want to eat a rainbow, and I'm not talking about, that candy, but but a rainbow of fruits and vegetables and getting all those antioxidants and polyphenols.
Right. So let me ask you this question. Say I'm closing on the age of 60. Should my protein be the same if I'm in the gym?
I would like to go back to 50 if we can and touch on nutrition, especially for women. So women are usually getting into, menopause around this time.
Yeah.
There's this big thing called intermittent fasting that everybody likes to do. This is probably a time when you don't want to do it. Now, for men, this age is fine if that's something you want to do. For those who don't know, I'm sure everybody knows, but intermittent fasting is when you only eat during a restricted time window. Now, if you have hypoglycemia or low blood sugar or a history of an eating disorder or anything like that, you absolutely should not do that.
Right.
But another time when you don't want to do it is it messes with hormones. And at this time for a woman's life, hormones are wacky anyway. Why would you add fuel to the fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't want to do that. And you don't want to do fad diets. And if you, say, you did keto when you were in your 30s and it worked great, that doesn't mean it's going to work now.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to stay away from fad diets, and you really want to just try and eat a balanced diet.
Right.
So I mentioned wine. So alcohol for men and women actually raises estrogen can raise it to dangerous levels. Now, I'm not talking about, you have 2 glasses of wine a week with food, with a meal.
Right.
I'm talking about any more than that.
Right.
I'm talking about the,
2
hanging out, drinking, a whole bottle, or, every day you're having alcohol, or you're binge drinking.
But I drink it for the health reasons.
Well, yeah, that's a myth. It raises estrogen, and this is why you see men around this age with a beer belly and man boobs because they have too much estrogen.
Boobs. And
so what it does is it can contribute to reproductive cancers, but it's also if your estrogen is too high, this is when you start to get some problems. Menopause shouldn't be the big problem that it is with all these physical ailments. I mean, yes, could be some discomfort and irregularity and craziness, but not as bad as what we have come to know it to be. Well, alcohol is one of the things that contributes, as well as other endocrine disruptors such as, chemicals and, don't microwave in plastic and try to look at your beauty products and make sure you're not putting too many chemicals in, and stress and not getting sleep, things like that. So this is a time, and for men too, when you want to start looking at toxins that you're putting in your body or putting on your body or breathing in. And I am including alcohol as a toxin.
It is.
It is a poison.
It is a poison.
Sugar is a toxin, is a poison. So that's another thing that you want to maybe reevaluate how much of that you're consuming.
Right.
Not saying you can't ever have, chocolate cake on your birthday, but just being mindful of how much of that you're putting in.
Right.
Because too much can definitely be detrimental.
Most definitely.
And then, like I said, toxins in your home care products and things like that. So this is, I mean, really anyone of any age should be mindful of that, but especially right now with all the hormonal changes that are going on. And this is also a time when you want to make sure that you're getting enough good, healthy fats.
Yeah.
For both your skin and your brain.
And
so
it's
talking
great for
about
your muscles too.
Talking about slowing down aging with like your skin. You know, we do so many things on top of our skin. We put things externally on our skin. What about the inside? But you have to take care of it from the inside as well. So making sure you have enough healthy fats from fish and walnuts and avocados and olive oil, and staying hydrated with water. Is going to help your skin age at a slower rate. It's going to look better. It's going to be, you know, you're not going to be all dried out. And also it's going to help your brain. It's going to help you stave off cognitive decline. Yeah. You know, when you get closer to, you know, hopefully closer to 90, but some people it could be earlier, and age-related dementia and Alzheimer's and things like that. You want to make sure both that you're watching that sugar and you're adding those healthy fats for your brain.
That's right.
And you do need fat to lose fat. Yeah. I think we talked about that on another podcast. Don't be, you know, fat phobic.
No.
Yeah, obviously you want to not eat fat all day. You still want to be mindful of your servings, but making sure that you are getting some healthy fats every day and or taking an omega supplement.
You do need it. That's definitely.
Some other things would be at this age that you start needing less calories.
Yeah.
You're not growing. You're probably not as active, even though you're working out. Now, if you are, like us, we work out a lot.
I was going to say it depends on the person
it depends on your lifestyle. You know, like me, I would personally rather have a few extra pounds on me than what, you know, the height weight tables and the BMI says I should weigh, so that I can enjoy my food.
Yeah.
But I do recognize that I need less calories than I used to. So just having a lot of lower calorie foods so that you still have the volume of food that maybe you want.
Yeah.
So again, fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, you know, focusing on big salads and fruit instead of, you know, chocolate cake, except every now and then go ahead and enjoy it. But I'm talking about what you do most of the time. So just kind of reducing your calories, and then maybe, especially if you do have a desk job, you probably need less starchy carbs.
Yeah.
If you're sitting all day.
Yeah.
So that's when you maybe want to do cauliflower rice instead of rice, or zucchini noodles instead of noodles. Not saying to never eat starchy carbs.
Yeah.
But maybe just kind of be mindful of how much.
Yeah.
You know, munch on some raw veggies at snack time instead of a half a bag of chips. Or have less of the chips and something else with it to fill you up that's not a starchy carb.
Yeah.
Just kind of being mindful of, maybe I need to reduce this just a little bit.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to ask is, I want people to make sure that you take this advice, but always keep in mind, everybody's an individual. Mm-hmm. So your main thing is listen to your body. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're hungry, eat. Don't go without eating because you're like,
I got to reduce my calories because I'm over 50. No, if you're hungry, eat. It's what you eat. You know, making the good choices 80% of the time. Yeah. That's going to matter.
Yep. That's awesome. Okay. The last age group, not really last, but 60 and beyond. So again, still beneficial to go work out.
I've seen people who didn't start until they were in their 70s
to eat right,
and they got results.
Yeah, it is so
never worked out before.
I know, but the thinking is, okay, I've been eating terrible my whole life. I've never worked out. Now I just turned, this age.
It's not going to make any difference. Yes, it will.
It'll make a drastic difference in your life. You'll see a quick response. Because you've never worked out before, you'll see a fast response. Even though you're older, it'll take longer, but you will see quick responses.
Well, and some of the attitudes I've heard is not only that it won't matter, but it's like, I'm going to die soon anyway.
Yeah,
well,
die something.
I would rather die than to live sick.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just about death.
It's about quality of life.
It's about quality of life.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in my 90s or my 80s and, walking with a cane and can't hardly move and have all kinds of lifestyle diseases. Yes, I would rather take care of myself as best as I can and have that good quality of life, doing what I want, being independent.
Yes.
For as long as possible.
Enjoying the things that you have always enjoyed.
I'm less worried about dying than I am about living.
Yes.
Not well.
Exactly. Yeah. So Warm-up time has to be
and rest days.
so
Definitely.
important over 60. Warm-up has to be at least 15 minutes. My clients who are over 60, I recommend to them they do some kind of quick warm-up before they come see me, and then we do a warm-up. It should add up to about 15 minutes, which is the minimum. Again, your joints are not as young as they used to be. Take that time to warm up. Yes, like you said, recovery time. In the beginning, you should do weights. Say if you just started at this age, you should go once a week and then progress to 2 times a week. But you need that rest time. You need to recover because you're older. That's just the way it is.
Now, when we're talking rest days, you're specifically talking about strength training, right? Because
cardio too at this age.
Well, okay.
I mean, what I was
Heavy cardio, not just like a walk in the park.
Walk in the park every day, please.
Yeah.
Go take a nice, long, easily walk. Cardio where you're sweating and you're
intense cardio,
breathing
like
heavy.
Yeah.
You should do more when you over 60. It's just good for your heart, good for your lungs. But you should also do weights. This is going to increase your quality of life.
Yes, and I think, I mean, of course, you want to do this at any age, but I think mind-body kind of things and flexibility is probably really important to be a part of your fitness program at this time too.
Yes.
Doing yoga and
oh yeah, that would be great.
Tai Chi.
That would be fantastic.
Because not only are you working on flexibility, so we don't want to fall.
No.
But if we do fall, we want to be able to get back up. We don't want to break anything.
And to be able just to keep going.
Right. So working on balance, working on that flexibility, doing those deep stretching.
Important. I was going to
like
say
a
that,
restorative yoga kind of thing with some meditation. That's very important. And any time that you can, again, this is beneficial at any age, but it's crucial now. Anytime that you can engage your brain while you're exercising. So, for example, dancing for your cardio, because you got to remember the steps, right?
Yep.
So anytime that you can do, or playing tennis, playing some kind of sport, anytime that you can incorporate that brain engagement,
mind-body connection
into your exercise, or that's why meditation during yoga is good.
Yep.
You're, again, staving off that cognitive decline. You're keeping that brain active. You're still making new pathways in your brain, no matter how old you are.
That's right. And recovery time, the rest time is very important, and here's why. When you're in your 20s and you get injured, you're back to it. Everything's fine. You get a little older. You're as old as me. You get injured. You're out for a couple of weeks. Damn, man, that sucks. All right. You're this age, over 60. You get hurt. You may not be able to go back to the gym ever again. So safety is number one at this age. As a matter of fact, at my age, safety is number one. I don't want to get hurt because I want to keep going. So that's my main concern when I go to the gym, is being safe and not getting injured.
Even proper form over 50, you need to adjust, correct?
Oh, yeah, correctly. I mean, even me, there's times if I'm not paying attention, I will lose my form and I have to correct myself because your mind wanders. You might be trying to think about what do I have to do next after this or whatever, and I'll get out of form and I'll have to correct myself. That's very important because bad form will injure you quick. And
I believe that, like, for example, say you're unable to do proper form with a certain exercise. Let's take tricep, for example. I know we're doing this with a client. Overhead presses.
Yeah.
Either you can't do proper form, or the proper form, maybe your shoulders, twinging or something while you're doing it. Well, you can still get an effective tricep workout with a different tricep exercise.
There's
so whereas
many ways.
Holding the weight up above your head and your shoulder is painful for you. A little discomfort is not so bad. Never should have pain.
Painful.
You can do tricep kickbacks.
Yeah, then we don't do
your
that
Your shoulder's
exercise.
Not really involved in that. You're still getting that tricep workout.
Exactly.
So recognizing when, okay, maybe this exercise for this particular muscle doesn't work. Let me find a different one.
Yes, and that's when you call Will, because I'm an expert on that. If you I want to build my shoulders, but I can't do this because I have a hurt shoulder, I can get your shoulders big without hurting them.
And you're going to be doing some videos on that very thing soon,
I am.
Aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So when those are up, we'll have the link for you, and we'll share that.
There's many ways to do an exercise, and I came about this because I can't really do a bench press because I get a sharp pain that comes from my delt into my bicep. I don't know what it is, but I can't get a good one. So I was like, well, I can't build my chest because I can't do a bench press. Well, there's like a dozen other chest exercises that I have learned to do to build my chest without having to do that bench press move that hurts me so much. So yeah, there's many ways.
And obviously they're just as effective looking at your chest right now.
There's many ways. And again, at this age, don't go it alone. Get some professional help for sure.
Always have like a
It'll
spotter,
be beneficial.
work out with a companion or a personal trainer, because not only do you have someone there for safety, but at this age, social connection is important.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Very
so
good.
That can be one of your,
Nice.
having the trainer or a friend work with you for strength training, going dancing, and because you're thinking of cognitive, you're not going to go dancing by yourself.
Right.
You're going to go with some friends.
Right.
So you have that social connection as well, which is very important at this age, because a lot of people tend to get isolated and lonely when they're older.
Right. Exactly.
And so by including a buddy,
that's a good point,
or hanging out with friends while you're doing your physical activity, that's going to help with that
and
too.
that just improves your mood anyway.
Yeah.
Being with other people.
And it's accountability too, because I would think at any age it's very easy to say I ain't going today.
Yeah, especially
if you're older and you're a little stiff when you wake up, and you might be like, I'm going to pass. But if you have somebody waiting for you, expecting you to be there, you're more likely to get up and go.
Yeah. So if any of our listeners are beyond, the age of, 60, 70, 80, you can come see us. We can help you. For sure. It's never too late. Never too late.
And I'd like to add something too for nutrition at this age. And again, this is something everyone could be doing, but especially over 60, chances are you might be taking some kind of medication.
Right.
So including foods that are good for your liver and to help your liver clean out
very good.
all that junk. Plus you've accumulated toxins over your whole life.
Right.
So things like dandelion greens and beets, staying away from the junk so that your liver doesn't get congested with them. You want to, and you can look up other liver helping foods, or taking a milk thistle supplement a couple times a week, perhaps. But paying attention to what foods and supplements are good for your liver. Now, I don't want you to go and buy some liver detox product at the health food store from an MLM. Really, you don't need to do that.
Right.
You just want to make sure that you're eating the foods that are going to help your liver so that it can clean out the extra medications, the extra hormones, the toxins, so that you're not getting overloaded and not putting in any more garbage than you need to. But by that same token, and this applies to any age, but also, again, the older you get, the more important I think it is I always tell people 80-20. 80% of the time, enjoy your food, but eat not enjoy your food. Eat all the time, enjoy your food. 80% of the time, eat really healthy. 20% of the time, don't worry about it.
Right.
But 99% of the time, try to eat real stuff.
Right.
That being said, if you feel like having a piece of cake, have a piece of cake.
Yeah.
But enjoy it. Eat it slow.
Don't feel guilty about it.
Don't feel guilty about it. And then get right back to your healthy eating.
Yes.
Especially the older you get, because life is short.
Yep. We want to have some pleasure, right? And
you want to enjoy things. I used to work in long-term care, and I hated when we had a diabetic patient in their 90s who was served, a diabetic diet all the time. And every now and then would say, they have cake. I want a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Because the diabetics would get like fruit or something for dessert. And I'm like, he's 95. Give him a damn piece of cake. He's not going to be able to eat cake much longer because he's going to be dead.
Right.
Have the damn piece of cake.
Yeah.
So
just one time.
Think about it, especially when you're 60, 70, 80. Think about it from that point. Yeah, I eat healthy most of the time, but I want to enjoy my life.
Yeah. Of course. Here's what I have to take away with you today. The big one is listen to your body. I don't care how old you are. Your body is going to tell you what's good, what's bad, what's wrong, what's right, if you listen to it. Don't ignore your body. Be smart about training. Make sure you stay safe and you learn how to work out properly. I still go to the gym today. I went to the gym this morning.
Yeah, we came straight here from the gym.
2 people. And I don't approach people because, you don't know, they don't want people in their space or whatever. So I don't, but I'm like, I want to stop people where I see that they're about to be injured. I'm like, he's going to break his neck, but I can't, if you're not sure
how to do something.
Find somebody who is sure, and
whether it's us or a trainer at the
friend that
gym,
you know
a
who's good
friend,
at it, yeah.
or even look up a tutorial online. Make sure
practice
you're
it.
doing it correctly.
Right. Consistency is important to help you have a great life and good quality of life. Job number one, again, for older people, don't get hurt in the gym. Be safe. That's job number one. You should keep lifting weights throughout your whole life. It's beneficial. I mean, you don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to be a strongman. Just lift weights. Get some resistance against your muscles. That's very important. And no ego lifting for guys. Like me, there's, I'm working out next to a 22-year-old who's benching 320, and I can't really do a proper bench. I don't get pissy and go over there and load up, 100 more than him and try and do it.
No grunting and dropping.
I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's no ego in the gym. Please have no ego in the gym. That's all I have for today.
So before we go, I would like to just mention that we are trying to move to a bigger location.
Yes.
We're going to get some more equipment.
Yes.
Our goal is for 3 months from now to be able to do that.
Offer more services for everybody.
Yeah. So we have started a GoFundMe.
Yep.
And I will put that link on our website. We just did it. So that link will be up today. And every contribution that is at least $10 or more gets you some kind of gift.
Get something
you
good.
can see in the GoFundMe, I'll also put it on the website page, what each gift is.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a PBS thing. You donate this much, you get, except it's not a tote bag.
It's not a tote bag.
So, you can range from an e-cookbook all the way up to, a whole month of personal training and nutrition.
With me.
And a lot of the things, massage obviously has to be in person, but if you are not in Colorado Springs, most of the gifts can still be done. We can do virtual training, virtual nutrition.
Yes.
I think we have some merchandise on there that we're going to give away. So, we appreciate every penny. But like I said, if you donate $10 or more, you will get some kind of gift for doing that.
Yep.
We will, if you're in the local area, we will be having a grand opening once we do move.
Yep.
With some new services that we'll be able to provide in this larger space with better equipment. So please, like, share, tell others, help us out. And we appreciate it so much, and we will pay it back.
Yeah, it'll be bigger classes, more things to do because we'll have new equipment. So new workout routines. I mean,
we'll be able to schedule, we'll have more flexibility in scheduling.
Yeah, there won't be, having, to juggle times around because we'll have the room and space to do 3 things at once if we need to. So
well, there's only 2 of us, but yeah.
Hey, I'm looking for the future. Maybe we're going to hire somebody.
That's right.
See, think big, everybody.
So that's it for us today, but be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our website.
If you have any questions or comments or anything you would like us to talk about, please let us know.
And if you're in the Colorado Springs area and would like us to help you in person, shoot us an email at contactus@chronologyfit.com or message us on Facebook.
That's Khronology with a K.
And if you're not in the Colorado Springs area, there are some services we can still provide virtually, so let us know.
Most definitely.
And you can check out other great podcasts by visiting studio809radio.com. We hope you have a healthy week and tune in next time to the Functional Fitness and Nutrition Podcast with Khronology.
See ya.